Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our AWS webinar. Today, we are going to be talking about accelerating your migration to AWS with CloudEndure. My name is Roshni Joshi, and I'm with the Solutions Architecture team at AWS, and I'm joined by
Alex Burkov, also with the Solution Architecture team at AWS.
Excellent. So we wanted to get started first with an agenda of what we are going to cover today. So we will talk about an overview of migration, as well as some of the common tooling that is used, how CloudEndure Migration works, as well as the network and replication architecture. We want to do a quick demo for you so that you understand the actual workings of CloudEndure, the software, leave you with some implementation and automation, as well as some best practices. So let's talk about some of the common migrations that lead people to a journey on the cloud. AWS has been around since 2006, and we have millions of customers across a diverse set of industries, and many of these customers are moving all their assets to the public cloud, that is AWS. Our customers tell us that there are many different reasons that they choose the cloud as a destination or platform of choice. One of the main reasons that they choose the cloud is for business agility. Some of our customers are creating use cases where they believe their workforces, especially their developers, can be 30 to 70% more productive in delivering features as a result of migrating to the cloud. Data center consolidation is another common reason for which we see customers moving to the cloud. Cost reduction is a very popular reason because customers find that the pay-as-you-go model in the public cloud is very, very attractive to their financial bottom lines. Co-location changes or contracting changes with their outsourcing contracts is another common decision, as well as facilities, real estate decisions, any kind of decisions or acquisitions or divestitures, which are common business practices, which require additional compute facilities, etc. These are all reasons during which our customers look at major decisions such as evaluating a cloud platform and moving workloads to the cloud. So what does the process look like? Again, having worked with our customers on hundreds and thousands of migrations, we typically go through a process of working with our customers on an assessment and building a business case. The business case is one that looks at three aspects. One would be looking through the lens of business value or realizing the benefits of the cloud. The second, in the initial phase or in the assessment phase, is really looking at their people and understanding what skills transformation is required. And the third one is governance. What kind of process changes are required? What kind of optimization is required in order for our customers to move into the cloud? From there, we typically move into a detailed application discovery that maps applications to servers, and we start putting together the foundations of a public cloud, which begins with constructs such as landing zones, security frameworks, people, process, and tools, updating operational runbooks so that our customers on-prem and the public cloud environment can operate seamlessly. From there, we start working with our customers to put together our applications, these applications that have been discovered in the application discovery phase in migration groups. And then we start testing these applications in the migrations and operations phase. We come up with migration waves or wave groups, and we begin to start migrating these applications over to the cloud. And finally, we are in the operations and optimization phase where we are in the business as usual, where we truly start realizing the value of the cloud. Now, AWS has been able to work over the last 10 years. We've able to bring to our customers a number of different tools, but not only do we have native tools, we work with our customers, our partners, not only our competency partners and our consulting partners, but our ISV partners. And we have a number of different processes and tools, as well as methodologies that have been created to help our customers execute these migrations into the cloud. these have helped our customers accelerate their migrations. Some of these migration tools have helped our customers reduce and automate common migration scenarios. Some of these tools that we have are within the AWS portfolio. These are tools such as the application discovery service or the server migration service that helps move servers, or the database migration service that helps move common databases, whether this is Oracle or SQL, or the schema conversion tool that helps you convert the schemas when you're moving using the DMS service or the data migration service. We also have services such as VMware Cloud on AWS that helps you seamlessly migrate your VMware workloads into the cloud without causing too many changes in the way you operate your VMware environment, so that you can use the same vSphere interfaces on your on-prem environment as well as the cloud. We also have tools that help you with the data transfer, such as AWS Storage and File Gateway, that helps you with the conversion of your on-prem file systems and the transition of those file systems to the cloud. Snowball, which is a device that helps you ship storage from your on-prem data centers to the AWS cloud. AWS Direct Connect, which is a private connection, high-speed private connection between your on-prem data center and the cloud. Not only do we have these assets, but AWS also offers a number of different partner solutions on the AWS marketplace that offers you the same pay-as-you-go model. Whether you need tools to inventory your environment, we offer tools such as CloudOnize and Turbonomic. We also have tools that help you with the business case, with deep discovery and planning, tools that help you with the application dependency mapping, tools that actually help you with the data migration, as well as partners that help you with the data migration, validation, and New Relic. In the realm of tools that help you with the data migration, we want to talk about CloudEndure here today. CloudEndure has been around since 2012, but recently became a part of the AWS family. And CloudEndure is a tool that not only addresses common migration challenges, but also helps accelerate migrations. So what are some of these common migration challenges? Most commonly, what we find is our customers have a diverse set of infrastructures and OS types in their legacy environments. These range from various types of Linux environments as well as Windows environments that support many disparate common off-the-shelf products, as well as custom inbuilt applications that have been around for many years. They are supported by complex databases, and the workloads are continuously changing. Sometimes our customers find that there are machine compatibility issues when we move these workloads from on-prem to the cloud. And because AWS is sometimes a new cloud environment for some of our customers, they are required to go out and acquire skills from the market that they don't have on-house. Because they are having to deal with unfamiliar skill set, they might face downtime and performance disruption during the migration, because of the tool sets they might be using. And usually when they're faced with the challenge of a migration, most of our customers are working under tight project timelines as well as limited budgets. And this is something that they're always trying to meet and reduce. So how does CloudEndure help? First of all, CloudEndure offers you the flexibility to migrate from any source to the AWS cloud. Any source could be another cloud, or it could be your on-prem data center. CloudEndure offers block-level replication support, which means we offer support for a wide range of operating systems, applications, as well as databases, as long as the replication occurs at a block level. Finally, CloudEndure offers you the option to migrate back in case you need to, for reasons such as issues on the target platform, or, for example, performance degradation, or any kind of cost-related issues, for example. The second aspect of CloudEndure is around reliability. CloudEndure offers a robust and predictable, non-disruptive, continuous replication that is seconds behind your primary workload, whether it's on-prem or on a different cloud. It also reduces your cutover windows and minimizes your downtime from what could be weeks or hours to what could potentially be minutes. CloudEndure also offers security and compliance for very highly regulated environments. And lastly, CloudEndure offers a high degree of automation, so it minimizes the skill set required to operate the environment. As you will see later on in the demo, a lot of the tasks in CloudEndure on the AWS platform are automated. It also allows you to create a non-disruptive test set prior to the cutover, and you can repeat the test as many times as you need to because the testing process on CloudEndure is super easy. Lastly, it makes the operationalization of migration super easy, so it easily plugs into any of your migration factories and is a great tool for cloud centers of excellence. So let's recap what some of these benefits of CloudEndure are. CloudEndure helps us rapidly achieve mass-scale migrations. It is set up in minutes, and it lets us start migrating into the cloud in minutes. It is a highly automated process that's applicable for any OS type, version, or database. It eliminates complexity and reduces risk. And finally, it allows us to migrate with minimal business disruption. So at a high level, how does CloudEndure work? CloudEndure is agent-based, so you would install your agents on your existing servers, whether those are Linux or Windows machines, you would install them. And as soon as you install the agents, the replication starts. And my colleague Alex will go into further detail on exactly how that happens, but the replication begins and starts moving the data into a staging area, which is on the AWS platform. In parallel, you can start configuring a blueprint. Now, the blueprint will define exactly what your target environment will look like. So the blueprint allows you to define what your target environment will look like in terms of compute as well as storage, whereas the staging area is built out of low-cost storage as well as low-cost replication servers to minimize cost. As I mentioned earlier, CloudEndure gives you the capability to test multiple times, and it allows you to test your blueprints. And in case your blueprint isn't correct, it allows you to go back and correct your blueprint so that you can retest your test environment, make sure you're meeting your performance benchmarks, make sure you're meeting your latency benchmarks, etc. And when you're ready, CloudEndure allows you to do a quick cutover so that you can be in your target cloud in a fast, easy, efficient, and risk-minimized fashion. Two of the success stories I'd like to talk about among the many hundreds of migrations we've done. Since 2012, we've helped many enterprise customers move to the cloud. But CloudEndure, specifically the two customers that we are very proud of, one is PSEG or PSEG. PSEG had thousands of virtual and physical servers running different OS types, and we seamlessly migrated their off-the-shelf applications at scale, and we helped them migrate into the cloud and start their cloud journey. We did this migration in a very accelerated timeline, and we achieved significant cost savings by retiring their legacy architecture. The second one is Lion. Lion migrated 1,000 Windows servers from on-premises to AWS. We supported the entire environment and all the workload and achieved the cutover of their Windows environment in minutes. Again, this migration was completed on schedule as well with minimal performance disruption. And with that, I wanted to hand you over to Alex, who's going to walk us through the CloudEndure migration process as well as the architecture.
Thank you, Roshni. Appreciate it. So I want to review how CloudEndure works. As Roshni had mentioned, CloudEndure continuously replicates any application or database from any source into AWS. This really allows rapid self-service migrations with no disruption to your business. CloudEndure has three main components. The first is a multi-tenant SaaS user console that can integrate with your identity provider. The initial configuration that you perform within that user console is to provide the user console with IAM credentials with a specific policy that provides programmatic access to your AWS account. From that point on, CloudEndure can then orchestrate the appropriate resources. The second component is a lightweight kernel-based agent that performs the replication duties. The agent is non-intrusive and installs silently with no reboot. The agent can be distributed using any systems management or software distribution tools that you're currently using in your environment. The agent itself runs in memory without using any local cache. There is no impact to the source infrastructure, and it is resilient to any network interruptions as well. Lastly, there is a staging area, which is the third component of CloudEndure. The staging area is low cost, consisting of small EC2 instances. Typically, by default, they are T2 small in a one-to-many fashion. Into many-to-one fashion. And attached to those replication servers are magnetic EBS volumes. Again, trying to keep the cost low while we are migrating the data over to the AWS. This entire staging area is orchestrated automatically. There are no appliances to install or manage, thereby reducing any additional overhead from IT. Once initial replication is completed, the agent maintains continuous replication to the staging area, ensuring that we have recovery times of seconds. When you are ready, CloudEndure will orchestrate and launch the production environment within minutes, generally around 5 to 15 minutes. This includes the creation of production EBS volumes, production EC2 instances, network configuration, etc. The configuration of those production resources are based on the blueprint that was just discussed. The blueprint can automatically be populated using many of those third-party discovery tools that you saw at the beginning of the presentation. By leveraging the discovery tool data or even your own metrics, the blueprint can also be used to optimize and right-size resources during your migration into AWS. When you are ready to cut over, CloudEndure does this automatically by performing automated machine conversion, which includes bootloader changes, hypervisor driver injection, cloud tool installs, amongst other tasks. CloudEndure ensures that you have production workloads running within AWS with a click of a button or a single API call. From a network architecture, CloudEndure utilizes a flat architecture with minimal network requirements. Outbound HTTPS port 443 is used for all command and control to the console. This includes from the agent and the replication instances within that staging area. Web proxies are also supported if you are utilizing those. All replication is done via port 1500, a connection that is managed by you. CloudEndure supports Direct Connect, VPN, or public internet for replication. CloudEndure also ensures that all data is secure by encrypting all of the traffic in transit using AES 256-bit encryption. And you can also encrypt the EBS volumes at rest using your own AWS account key, KMS account key. Staging and production areas can reside in the same subnet or VPC or separate ones within the region, depending on your security and access requirements. So again, CloudEndure is able to do this automatically. Everything is orchestrated with simple clicks of the button. CloudEndure, since we are doing block level replication, CloudEndure has a wide platform support. Any application, any database, as long as there are block devices attached, CloudEndure can replicate. CloudEndure supports many x86 operating systems for Windows Server, as well as lots of varieties of Linux. And since we are doing block level replication, again, the source infrastructure is agnostic to us. We can do physical machines, virtual machines, regardless of the hypervisor, as well as other clouds as well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into a demo and show you how CloudEndure works. I am within the CloudEndure console. I am looking at a project here. Now note that this project is disaster recovery. CloudEndure does also offer disaster recovery solutions, but it works the same way as migration. It's just that migration is typically unidirectional. Disaster recovery allows you to fail back as well. Once I enter the dashboard, I'm presented with very high level information about the status of my projects, how many workloads are protected, and what status they are in. If I click on the Machines tab here, I am presented with a list of workloads that are protected using CloudEndure. In this case, these servers are being replicated to AWS East 2 in Ohio. I'm going to focus on these two servers up top. I have a two-tier application that consists of a WordPress server and a MySQL database on the back end. So right now I have a WordPress that is running at a source infrastructure. I'm going to go ahead and just make a small change on this WordPress server. Just do a simple post. And once I publish this post, it immediately gets updated to the WordPress site and committed to the backend database. At this point, CloudEndure is performing continuous data protection. So all of those changes that I just made are immediately replicated to that staging area within AWS. At this point, I can go ahead and launch test servers in my target. I'm going to launch these in test mode. CloudEndure informs me that it is launching 2 instances within AWS. Hit next. Since this is disaster recovery, I do have a choice of recovery points, but since I just made a change, I'm going to go ahead and select latest. And now CloudEndure is performing the orchestration of creating production volumes, creating production instances, performing all of the conversion process that is required in order to get these servers running as instances natively within AWS. Now, all of that is orchestrated based on this blueprint. And again, the blueprint defines how those target resources are going to be orchestrated by CloudEndure on your behalf. This includes selecting the machine types, defining whether I want those instances on demand or dedicated, selecting which subnet and VPC I want these launched in, what security groups I wish to be applied to those instances once they're launched, and then also defining the network configuration. One of the things that CloudEndure does during the conversion process is also properly define your network configuration to run in AWS. So I have the option of creating a new private IP, preserving one that I may have on-prem through the use of custom IP, or attach an ENI that may be pre-created within my AWS account. I can also assign elastic IPs, define whether I want a public IP assigned to the instances or not, define placement groups, assign IAM roles to the servers, etc., use tagging, and then finally I'm able to select the type of EBS volumes. Because again, in the staging area, we are leveraging low-cost magnetic EBS volumes. I may need high-performance disk, and I have the option to select those here, including provisioned SSD, where I can define the IOPS. If I go back to this machines view and I click on job progress, I am presented with a list of what's happened during that job. So the job started, and then several minutes later, it was completed. So CloudEndure is able to cut over machines within minutes. If I now head back into the application server, the one thing that I'll notice is I have a target tab here. If I click on the target tab, I am now presented with a public IP, as I had requested that one be assigned to this instance. If I click on it, this new WordPress running natively now within AWS East 2 has that change that I made on my source. And all of this was done within minutes with a single click of the button. CloudEndure can also perform all the requisite cleanup after I'm done with my testing. So if I'm not ready to cut over, this was just a test, I can go in here and delete the target machines, and then CloudEndure will go through the cleanup process and delete any of the resources that were orchestrated. So I want to discuss a couple other topics which are critical to migrations. What I've done is just shown you the CloudEndure console, but it's very easy to build on top of CloudEndure using our RESTful APIs. Our RESTful APIs have lots of common use cases, things such as automated agent deployment, defining those blueprints if you wish to do it through an API, automating the launch of machines as well, and also simplifying the automated application testing with the ability to perform unlimited iterative tests prior to actually cutting over. And CloudEndure also provides the ability to do post-launch scripting for the purpose of, say, software removal, deployment of other tools, or configuration such as DNS. Throughout our experience, we've realized some major keys, if you will, to the successful implementation of CloudEndure and successful migrations. The first thing is generally migrations, as we discussed earlier, are grouped into waves. Waves can be based on applications, service criticality, or data center location, for example. So it's important to plan ahead for these waves, and CloudEndure supports the waves through either projects or groups within projects. So you can very easily create waves within CloudEndure natively. Since agent installs often require change control, CloudEndure allows you to pre-stage the installation of the agents in what we call a stopped mode. So the agents will be deployed, but replication will not begin until you're ready for that wave. Once you are in continuous data protection mode, or CDP as we refer to it, at that point you can go ahead and launch instances at any time for the purpose of testing. And that brings us to the testing part. Testing is critical, and it is something that we highly recommend is performed 1 to 2 weeks before an actual cutover. This leaves you time to address any issues that may come up with either the application running natively in AWS or any conversion issues as well. And since replication is continuous, any downtime is really cut to a minimum. So when you're ready to cut over, that can be performed within minutes.
All right, with that, just wanted to reiterate some of the use cases for CloudEndure. So the first one is lift, shift, and optimize. Alex walked us through how you can move your workloads from on-prem to the AWS cloud. He also showed us how you can use the blueprint configuration to optimize or change or identify what type of configuration you want to use on the AWS cloud. So that gives you a chance to optimize. You can even use a post-process script to further enhance your workload, whether it's to remove additional things that you no longer need, or to clean up your application, etc. The second use case is the vast majority of Windows and Linux servers. As Alex showed you, we have a wide variety of operating systems that we support. Anywhere that an agent can be installed can be a source for migration to the AWS cloud. And talking about where we can migrate from and to, so CloudEndure can support migrations on premises to the cloud, from any other cloud to the AWS cloud, as well as cross region. So we talked about disaster recovery. You can migrate from one AWS region to another AWS region, or for disaster recovery purposes, you can be in a continuous replication mode from one AWS region to another AWS region. CloudEndure, as we've mentioned before, supports the replication of block storage devices only. So these can be SAN or iSCSI. These can be EBS volumes, especially if they're moving from AWS region to AWS region. This can be a VMDK, etc. And finally, CloudEndure supports the replication of full machines, not single file systems. So if you're replicating full machines and volumes, CloudEndure is the solution for you. Lastly, but a really important topic is licensing and procurement.
Thanks, Rashi. CloudEndure Migration is licensed per source machine. All customers and partners can obtain licenses at no cost by going to aws.amazon.com/CloudEndure and following the link to get started with their CloudEndure migration account registration. Each free CloudEndure migration license allows for 90 days of use following the agent installation. During this period, you can start the replication of your source machines, launch target machines, and perform the scheduled cutover to complete your migration. After this 90-day period, your machines will stop replicating and new target machines cannot be launched. If you did not complete the migration within the free 90-day period, you can still migrate at no cost by reinstalling the CloudEndure agent on applicable machines with a new CloudEndure migration account. This will allow you to perform replication, testing, and cut over for another free period of 90 days. While the use of CloudEndure Migration is free, you will incur charges for any AWS infrastructure, such as compute and storage resources, that is provisioned during the migration and after cutover. There are special programs available to AWS customers, so if you are planning a significant or mass migration, please do get in touch with your AWS partner or your AWS sales and solution architecture or professional services teams to see if you qualify for additional benefits.
And finally, we thank you for joining us here today. If you do have any questions, please do reach out to your local AWS team or find us at aws.amazon.com/cloudendure. Thank you.